Hey, welcome back, friends. This is Alan Lee here with Honestly Handyman Services out of Sacramento, California. And I just wanted to make a video of more in depth of my pricing. I had some good pictures, or I had some really good comments asking more in depth of what I charge per job. So I want to give you guys a brief overview of exactly what I charge per job, and also an overview of how much I make per day and how I figure that out. So I guess we could get right into pricing, right? So pricing is a little tricky. It's built up of a bunch of different aspects rather than just a job, right? So say if someone calls you up and they say, "Hey, Alan, I need a toilet replaced." What I always do first thing is some people really want a quote over the phone. I say, "I'm sorry, I can't give you a quote over the phone because, depending on the location of your toilet and if your valve's fine, if your flange, because sometimes you get there and the whole toilet's rocking and the flange is broken or who knows." So I always like to personally see things with my own eyes before I give them a quote. So I always set up an estimate with them, go take a look at it, and then give them an estimate via email afterwards. And this just helps clarify things because that way I know exactly what I'm going to be doing, exactly what I got ahead of me, and they know the price up front, I know the price up front, and then I show up on the day and I do the job, and that's it. So I guess we could start for toilets, right? If someone was to call me up and say, "Hey, I need a toilet replaced," and they just kept begging me for a ballpark estimate, I would say somewhere between $100 and $150. That's in my area here in Sacramento, California. It may differ, wherever you are. The market is different. That's the amazing thing about capitalism. And so how I kind of figure on those pricing points is I use a website called HomeWise. I also use many different aspects of finding out prices. So I talk to people who have been in the trade for a long time, and after a while you kind of get an idea of what things cost. So the website called homewise.com, you could go there, you put in your zip code so it sets it up for your area, and you type in, say, how much to replace the toilet. And it's not, I wouldn't take that, for a matter of fact, because sometimes you type in how to replace the toilet, and it might say $200. Then you might look at that and be like, "Oh, that's a little high," and then so you adjust it for what your market will figure, right? So when I first started out, I would take HomeWise because I didn't know anything about pricing. So I would take HomeWise for fact, and so say they said a toilet to replace it is $50. I'd write $50, and that's what I'd give the customer for, and they would go for it. And say I got there, and man, I just had a heck of a time. And some of it's learning, right? So you can't charge the customer for that. But say this job took 3 hours. Not that a toilet would, but unless it has some serious issues. But so say it did, right? And you only charge $50. At the end of it, you would assess yourself and be like, "Ugh, I think it was worth more than $50 to do that job." So then for next time, right? You adjust it for next time. Or sometimes you might get it done super quick and be like, "Wow, I made a killing on that job." So next time to lower it a little bit because it's not worth quite that $50 range. So a few other ballpark charges that I do is, so say someone said a light fixture. I normally charge $75 for a light fixture. That's if they have a light fixture and I'm just pulling it down and replacing a new one. If the box is there, the electrical's good, electrical works, everything like that. Ceiling fans are $100 to replace. So this is where words are important in an estimate. When you write an estimate for a ceiling fan or a light fixture or whatever, you need to say remove and replace customer supplied ceiling fan. That's different than install new ceiling fan or install customer supplied ceiling fan, because that entails that you're running a whole wire and putting in a box and everything like that, and that's going to be way more than the $100 price point. A few other things, let's see, garbage disposals. So I usually charge around $80 for garbage disposals to replace them. And again, even something as simple as that, I like to go see it with my own eyes. People may be fine with, just giving an estimate off the phone and just showing up and doing the job. That doesn't work for me. I've tried that. That does not work at all. Because say they say, "Oh, I need a garbage disposal replaced," and I have it. So you give them the price point, $80, and you show up. And you realize that they didn't have a garbage disposal to begin with. They just had a regular drain. and they want you to install a whole new garbage disposal, run a new drain, and hook it all up and everything. That's going to be a little more than $80. So that's why I like to see things with my own eyes, know exactly what I'm getting myself into. A few other things, let's see, price point. Cleaning gutters. Usually for a typical one-story house, 1,200 square feet or so, usually around $75. Now again, I like to go see it. Even if someone wants their gutters cleaned, I like to go give them an estimate in person. It gives you a chance to meet them because, so it's more than just seeing the job, but it's selling yourself, right? So the first time you meet with someone, you're giving them a presentation and you're selling yourself. You're making them realize that they want to work with you and not anyone else. So that's a very important, another aspect of giving an estimate is not only seeing the job with your own eyes, but it's presenting yourself and selling yourself and your product. So I guess the next question would be, how much do you make on a typical day? So normally what I do is I have been doing a lot of honey-do lists. So I'll come in, someone will say, I want a new toilet there. This light fixture doesn't work here. The gutters need to be cleaned. I need a new mailbox. Just things like that. My faucet is leaking, or I need a new faucet, this and that. So you would take all those individual price points that I gave you earlier and add those into a whole estimate, and you could knock quite a bit out in a day. So you can do your own estimation on how much you make as a handyman per day. Now you got to figure some of that cost is materials, and then you also got to figure some of that cost is taxes, fuel, any overhead you have, paying for a website, paying for advertising. So there's a lot that goes into how much I make per day. It's not like, I made, like you can't figure, I made $500 in 5 hours, so I made $100 an hour. I mean, yeah, you did, but really at the end of, after paying your taxes, after paying your mileage, after all this and that, you got employees, whatever, you're not going to be making $100 an hour. That's what your business made, but what I make is a little bit different, if that makes any sense. So this is just another in-depth pricing video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And also, if you have any more questions at all, please leave them in the comment section below, because I love having conversations with you guys. That's really what makes this channel great, is having an open dialogue between me and the viewers. So I highly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, I really hope that you would. And check out my first pricing video. It's called, How to Price Handyman Jobs, if you want an intro to this video as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, I send out 3 new videos every week, so subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys at the next video.